Mi smo spavali svega nekih 2-3 sata. U pitanju je možda čak i trema, ali pozitivna trema, tako da vidjet ćemo.
Čim znaš da moraš da ustaneš, kažeš sebi podsvesno moram da ustanem u 5 i ustaješ pre sata, pre budilnika, tako i uvijek.
2, 4, 5, moram da ih brojim stavno. Sedajte. Boravka našeg tamo, dopuna za mobilni telefon koju odmah iskoristite, ubacite dopune sem ove naše čačanke koja ima ovaj telefon postpaid. Imate uputstvo ko ima 064 za 064 kako se telefonira iz inostranstva, ko ima 063 za 063, znači sve vam je tu. Marijana Bojović, Sandra Čaušević.
Ja sam Sandra Čaušević, dolazim iz Batočine i studiram engleski jezik u Kragujevcu.
Andrejević Dimitrije, Niš, apsolvent TIF-a.
Marko Perović iz Beograda, studiram na Pravnom fakultetu Univerzitetu u Beogradu, 2. godina.
Ja sam Slobodan Mračina, dolazim iz Sombora, studiram u Novom Sadu grafičko inženjerstvo i dizajn.
Ja sam Jelena Veličković, studiram građevinski fakultet u Beogradu, 2. godine iz Leskovca.
Milan Urošević iz Kragujevca, studiram menadžment na Megatrend univerzitetu, 3. sam godina.
Studiram novinarstvo, ja sam Sonja Andrić iz Požege i 4. sam godina.
Ja sam Marko Zdravković, apsolvent prava iz Beograda.
Ja sam Miloš Kuzmanović, student filozofije na Filozofskom fakultetu univerzitetu u Beogradu. Dolazim iz Beograda.
Ja sam Marijana Bojović, dolazim iz Čačka i studiram ekonomski fakultet u Beogradu.
Poslednji poziv na servis i Italija objavljuje polazak aviona za Rim iz Lazara.
Ova kampanja zove se Evropa uživo sa razlogom. Osmišljen je kao jedan reality show. Grupa od 10 studenta putuje u Brisel.
Nikad nisam putovala avionom. Putovala sam samo autobusom. Znači Turska, Budimpešta, Grčka, Crna Gora sad, inostranstvo. Pa očekujem dosta toga.
Od ovog puta očekujemo mi koji imamo privid onoga što znači Evropska unija. U stvari to sada vidimo i na delu i da kada se vratimo s ovog puta sve to primenimo u praksi.
Dosta sam samo sa ekskurzijom u Italiju išla. Ovo je prvi put da idem i avionom, a i jednu zemlju zapadne Evrope, da je s Europsku uniju, znači sem Italije.
I mislim da će nam zaista ovo koristiti u našim budućim karijerama.
Ovo je moje prvo iskustvo, znači letenje avionom. Do sad sam išao u Budimpeštu, Mađarsku. Od ovog puta očekujem pre svega dobro druženje, upoznavanje nove kulture i konačno vidim taj deo Evrope.
Mi kao ta mlada ekspedicija pokušavamo da približimo i njih nama, a i kasnije nas njima.
Nemam tremu od aviona.
Dobar dan, dame i gospodo, govorim kapetan, moje ime je Vlada Nikšević. Želeo bih da vam nekoliko informacija o našem letu. Trenutno letimo na visini od 11.000 metara, naša putna brzina je 800 km/h, spoljašnja temperatura vazduha na ovoj visini je minus 59 stepeni Celzijevih. Vrijeme na našem putu je lijepo, a od Beograda do Brisela, našeg prvog sletanja za Amsterdam, Prelećemo dalje sa 1400 km i put nas vodi preko Novog Sada, Sombora, Pečuja, Đera, Beča, Frankfurta i očekamo sletanje na aerodrom Briselu u 10 časova i 20 minuta po lokalnom vremenu. Vrijeme u Briselu je vjetrovito i trenutno je plus 6 stepeni Celzijusovih.
Samo uzmite za sebe, ostalo podelite. Oko promjene plana, vi ste plan dobili, ali to je mala promjena pa da znate za danas i sutra. Petak ostaje isti.
Tako da znate šta možda možete da pitate gospodina Kacina poslije. On je Slovenac, član grupacije ALDE, to je Alliance of Liberals and Democrats for Europe. Znači liberal, bio je ministar odbrane u Sloveniji 93. čini mi se za vreme rata, mislim da je bio kad je počeo.
Sad se sastavimo sa njim, ali ćemo imati odmah posle tog sastanka ćemo imati pauzu, znači idemo u hotel da se presvučemo za Javijera Solanu.
Imaće se skoro 2 sata vremena, znači posle Kacina...
Opušteno sad.
Dobar dan. Gospodin Jelko Kacin, vi ste tamo, sve ste da.
Da bi se vizni režim poboljšao, olabavio, prije svega treba odraditi vaš deo posla u Ministarstvu unutrašnjih poslova. Za države Zapadnog Balkana u ovom momentu važi da su jedini koji nemaju problema sa vizama kriminalci. Oni imaju sve pasoše, normalne i diplomatske, imaju sve vize, ne stoje u redovima. Ali to se događa prije svega zbog toga jer pasoši nestaju iz institucija srpske države. I zato mora srpska država uspostaviti kontrolu i pravnu državu kako bi bila kredibilna i da bi na kraju i normalni državljani bili u boljoj situaciji. Mi u ovom momentu imamo samo jedno onako rupu unutar Europe, to je Zapadni Balkan i naša je politička odluka da tu rupu smanjujemo, da je punimo sa Europskom Unijom i da je što je moguće brže taj proces zatvorimo. To Hrvati nerado čuju, ali ja uvijek ponavljam da put za Zagreb ka Briselu vodi preko Sarajeva, preko Beograda, preko odnosa sa svim susjedima, sa širenjem trgovine, sa uspostavljanjem mogućnosti za brži i slobodan pretok ljudi, roba, ideja. A da bi znali šta su ideje, morate doći u Brisel, morate imati češće mogućnost da putujete u inostranstvo i mi ćemo na svojoj strani odraditi što je moguće. A na drugoj strani, još jedanput, zavisi od vaše države.
Ja mislim da se tu pre svega odnosi na obrazce, na dokumentaciju, na tako.
Odnosi se prije svega na pasoše koji onako ne znamo na koji način pobjegnu iz institucija države i nađu se u nepravim rukama. Znači govorimo o sistemu uspostavljanja pravne države unutar Srbije. Što znači i pun nadzor nad svim tajnim službama i efikasnost po svim drugim stvarima, uključujući i kontrolu vlastitog teritorija. Jer ako ne znate ko hoda po Srbiji, gde se krije i šta se događa, to govori o neefikasnosti države.
Da li smatrate da u Srbiji proces reintegracije u Europsku uniju i demokratizacija nije počeo nakon promjena 5. oktobra 2000. I da li je moguće da za period od 6 godina nijedan princip demokratije, po vašim rečima, u Srbiji nije uspostavljen? Ako mi tek posle ovih izbora očekujemo prekretnicu u demokratizaciji Srbije.
Demokratija nikad nije dobijena džabe i za uvek. Uvijek se treba boriti svaki dan, posebno za svakog pojedinca prema kome se država ne ponaša na osnovu pravne države i nameće mu krivice. To je bit demokratije. Moramo biti dovoljno osjetljivi, moramo biti znatno širi i moramo brinuti o drugima. Ali ono što bi vam ja želeo reći, što je problem Srbije i svake države Zapadnog Balkana, te države ne razumiju i njihovi političari ne razumiju da to nije bilaterala, nego da je to multilaterala. Što znači da ono što ti danas govoriš u jednom ofisu, moraš ponoviti sutra u drugom ofisu, jer nas 25 komunicira između sebe. Mi upotrebljavamo reč. Mi, nas 450 miliona.
I'm very happy that they have the opportunity of visiting this house, which is with a part of your family and part of your building. And I would like that you have a feeling of how this complicated institution works, so that you get in love with them.
This group of the best students of our Serbian university symbolically represents about 230,000 students in Serbia right now. I'm old man, and the future of my country belongs to them. That future could be only European future. After spending a few days in Brussels and returning back home, they are going to be, I'm quite sure, the best ambassadors of European Union, promoters of European values, and the strongest fighters for removing all obstacles, keeping Serbia out of the family of European democracy. I must emphasize all obstacles are internal obstacles, Hague obstacle included. And really, I think they deserve a special attitude, notion by European Union, to release them from visa system, to approach equality with the colleagues of the other European universities, to allow them to travel and study everywhere they want. And I believe it could be very helpful if European Union take decision, let me conclude, of continuing a stabilization association agreement with talks with Serbia, to say, explain publicly, this is in benefit, in favor of young people, young generation of Serbia, first of all.
I think a little other little ideas could I have better than or few ideas would I have better than to spend this period of time than meeting with you. You probably don't know I shouldn't be here today. I should be in Kinshasa in Congo because today is the intronization of the new president, democratic president of Congo for the first time. And we have been working for that process. Myself, I've been very much engaged on that process, but I have not gone. I talked to him on the phone, and I prefer to stay here to meet you and to spend, even if it's a short period of time, with you. Because I think that to get a president in the country is very important, but to talk with young people, young students from Serbia, for us, is more important. I understand that you represent, as the minister has said, a group of outstanding students. Therefore, you will be probably better to understand what is the intellectual spirit in which we move, but also as much as you are intelligent people, you will be also able to understand from your heart and from your mind the warmth which I would like to talk to you today. And I would like to talk to you really from the bottom of my heart to people that in any case are going to be citizens of the European Union when they are grown up. You are already grown up in a few years from time. Now that means a lot. That means a lot for us, and it should mean a lot for you.
Niko zaista nije očekivao da će biti toliko otvoren za razgovore, vrlo iskrene razgovore sa nama i da nas sasluša.
Iako je planiran sastanak od 10-15 minuta, sa nama se zadržao čak 45 minuta u jako opuštenom razgovoru.
Oduševio me zato što je spontan, prirodan.
Osjećali smo se znači kao da nismo uopšte u Briselu, u njegovoj poseti, nego kao sa čovekom kod njega kući u gostima i da pričamo o svim temama.
Tako da je to moj najveći utisak iz Brisela uopšte.
And you know that, as the minister has said, we would like very much that the election that will take place in the month of January will be elections that will show the will of the people. And we are Democrats, you are Democrats, we don't have anything to say of what the people may want to vote for. I would like a result, but this is our wish. It may not be the wish of the majority of the people in Serbia, that will be compatible with our getting together. That is what will be our dream, but of course this is the freedom for everybody to put their vote in the manner that they see fit, they please.
More than 60% of our young people have not been abroad, and I think that it's very important for them so that they can feel Europe and that they can apply that knowledge and experience in our country.
We think that we are part of Europe. We feel like we are part of Europe, and we are waiting that day that we can travel across the Europe and whole world without no problems.
What you have said is what we feel, is what we think. And I hope very much that you will be able to see it, and we will have the opportunity of seeing it together.
We believe that we can do much more together. Young people in Serbia, they need a chance. We need a chance to change something. I believe that mostly of us, or maybe all of us, we didn't have a childhood. We lose our childhood because some stupid wars. The message what I want to send you, that we don't want to forget, but we want to forgive, to make reconciliation with first at all with our neighbors, and to reconcile at first. And we want to talk with you. We want to share with you. We want to, not just to travel. We want to go to have some students' exchanges. We want, you know, just some opportunity to change something.
Nothing is impossible at all. Nothing is impossible. That's one of the things that we have learned. Nothing is impossible. It's a question of political will, and everything will be achieved.
I wish to say you that we want visa, so I want to learn. I see all these buildings, great buildings in Brussels, and I want to learn what you know in Europe and to send that message in my country. And I don't want to leave my country. I want to stay in my country, work and live. And I want my country to be better, and every one of us to have that opportunity to have experience in Europe and to bring that experience in our country.
Now let me tell you very frankly that feel at home here, come whenever you want. We will organize scholarships or mechanisms so that the best of those who deserve it, those who have the will, the wish to travel and they're able to take advantage of it because they speak the language and because any language, French, English, here you can speak so many languages that it's not so difficult to find one that you may share. And we'll organize that in a systematic manner so that you will be comfortable here.
So I'm Heather Gravy from Commissioner Wren's cabinet. My colleague Alberto Camarata is in the Serbia unit and particularly occupied by political matters in Serbia. Very nice to meet you all. I hope you're having a good visit to Brussels.
Can you tell us your opinion about our students' prospects for getting foreign scholarships or for students' exchange, etc.?
Essentially, there are two levels of scholarships that are available. One is the ones that are organised by the European Commission for the whole EU. But then, of course, each of the member states, they have their own scholarship programmes. And so it's always important and useful to see what the member states are offering individually. But at the EU level, we have several programmes for either short-term or longer-term exchanges, and both of these are now being extended in Serbia. So, for example, the Tempest programme offers a very large number of short-term scholarships for going to EU universities, usually just for a term or a few months. But that's a very big programme, and it offers we're offering thousands of scholarships. So that's really quite a big number. Then there's something called Erasmus Mundus, which is a longer-term scholarship programme. Probably there will be 60 or 70 scholarships available for Serbian students next year, and that's a very prestigious programme, particularly for master's students. It's a bit like the Fulbright programme to the United States. It's comparable in terms of the amount of money that's available and also the prestige that's attached to it. But of course, as you know, one of the big issues at the moment is students being able to take up their scholarships, i.e. getting visas. And that's something that we're trying to work on in parallel, because there's no point the EU offering a scholarship if then the member state, say you get one to the University of Vienna, if you then can't get a visa. So we're trying to make some progress on that in tandem, and Commissioner Wren has talked to Commissioner Figel, who's responsible for education, about this very matter. And in fact, I'm glad that the visa facilitation negotiations began on Monday, because those will allow students in certain categories to travel to get visas for free. There's be no fee for the visa from the 1st of January next year under a recently adopted directive, and also we're hoping to extend that and make it easier to get the visas through the visa facilitation agreement.
Brisel je ostavio jak utisak na mene, ovde je skoro kao u Čačku. Pa skoro kao u Čačku.
Nema ništa, nismo ni tražili. Možda ima, ali nismo iskreno tražili.
Pa do duše kako imamo vremena, kakav nam je raspored, sve smo stigli da obiđemo, ali dobro. Evo, noćna šetnja prija posle celodnevnog napornog ovog dana, ali dobro. Izdržat ćemo.
Šta reći, brate, srednje žalosno. Ovde u centru grada je sve preskupo. Ali ne damo se, sutra idemo u veliku prodavnicu da nađemo kvalitetno belgijsko pivo.
Belgijska piva.
Svetsko je njihovo. A ću izađem na televizor? Majke mi?
U ovim šopovima konkretno za mene ništa. Tražimo knjižare kojima možemo vidjeti belgijsku istoriju, istoriju Europske unije, uglavnom knjige, literaturu, da što bolje upoznamo ovo što smo došli. To je to.
To je nemački grub jezik. Francuski težak, a engleski najlakši.
Morning, Mrs. Garland. Good morning. I'm sorry, a little bit late. I expected people from the Balkans are not on time. Excuse me. So the Germans are not timely.
Želeo bih da pitam gospođu Kallenbach, kako ona ocenjuje sad trenutno stanje ljudskih prava Srba koji trenutno žive na Kosovu i kakve su mogućnosti da ti ljudi koji žive bukvalno u getu, enklavama, dobiju makar osnovna ljudska prava koje im pripadaju?
Of sure, if you don't have freedom of movement, then it is a violation of a human right. But it is, for me, it is very, very necessary that both community or all communities who are living in Kosovo start to talk much better and much more to each other. And the people also have to talk about what has happened before 1990. This is on 19 and up to 1999. Because I think otherwise it will not be possible to have a real future together. And just recently I'm still in contact with many people from Patch, and just recently they wrote me that there is now more and more return also to the city of Patch, not only to the villages where special projects were implemented to bring Kosovo Serbs back to their home. And I think it's their right to live where is their home, their place of origin. And so they confirmed me that the freedom of movement is now much, much better than it was years ago. And I also tried to do my best at this time to have or to extend the city administration to the village of Goraždevac. So we opened a dependance of the town hall in Peć. We have had Serb employees paid by the Kosovo budget in different areas.
Utisak dana je asistentkinja gospodina Kacina. Imali ste prilike da je vidite. Ne ona lično, ali ono što smo sa njom mogli da vidimo. Ušli smo u salu u kojoj se održavaju sastanci najveće poslaničke grupe u Evropskom parlamentu, sastanci konzervativaca. Inače, Srpski pokret obnove je, da kažemo, pridruženi član evropskih konzervativaca.
I'm not an official of the parliament. I'm employed by my boss. He's my sort of... I have nothing to do with the parliament. I just happen to work here. So, in answer to your question, I'm trying to say that it's very much up to an MEP. I mean, if he wants to employ somebody who is, much older, then that's his choice, or not. Or if he wants somebody, isn't bothered if they have a degree or not, again, it's his choice. It's not. There's no sort of strict rules about it.
And what is your job here? What are you doing?
I'm basically covering foreign affairs for Mr. Kacin, and also very much working on the Balkans. He's rapporteur for Serbia, so I'm sort of supporting him in that respect, which means that I'm sort of drafting amendments for him. I'm drawing attention to reports that he should be aware of, drafting parliamentary questions, writing speeches for him, that kind of thing.
It's really hard.
Yeah, well, it's hard, but it's very interesting. Very interesting work. Very dynamic. No 2 days are the same. Really, I enjoy it a lot. It's good.
Srbija uđe u Europsku uniju, a ja budem u parlamentu. Ponudit ću ti mjesto.
Dogovorno.
Idemo koliko su dobre ove njihove stolice, možda samo izgledaju dobro, možda su neudobne. S obzirom da ne volim preterano udobno i da nije dobro za kičmu, ne bih volao više od 3-4 sata, veruj mi. Dnevno, da. Bolje su drvene, zdravije su i bolje su za kičmu.
svetsko, nažalost njihovo, ali naše je bolje.
On je mlad, zdrav, a lud.
Vidio sam da...
Izgubljen u prostoru i vremenu. Evo, snimite ga, snimite taj beznadežan slučaj. Taj izgubljeni lik u prostoru i vremenu.
Zaokružite 7.
Jedini cacat.
Ajde, klik vrata.
Test. Sad smo ko Sardine, a snimatelj naš da nas snima, ali da. Stu!
Meni mikrofon završio ovako.
People are generally convinced that the future of Serbia is clearly within the European Union. However, that the progress or the speed of the progress that goes down the European path is very much in the Serbian hands.
What do you think about visas? When is it going to happen that we, our friends, our people in our country can travel across the world without any visas?
It's going to be done in different stages. There is a clear desire that, I mean, because your question was concerning all people, which is not going to be the case in the beginning. I mean, for students, for researchers, which is considered one of the priorities, not only the visa facilitation, but also scholarships, the actual possibility to be financed and while doing its research here. The desire is to advance as quickly as possible in the negotiations, but to, I would say before the summer.
We support democracy, as I said. We work with parliaments, with the elected members of parliament. We help them to get into their role. We help them to become aware of what it is to be a member of parliament, what it is to make laws, what it is to oversee your government, how can you manage your relationship with the people that have voted for you, and how can you maintain those relationships in the hope that they will vote for you as well in the future. And that's work with the elected members of parliament. But we also work with the non-elected people in parliament, the staff of parliament, because we strongly believe that, let's say, the institutional part of parliament, the clerks, the secretariats of the committees, the archives, the libraries, that's the institutional memory of parliament. And it's very important in our view to invest also in that part of the parliament. As you know, MPs, members of parliament, they come and go, but these institutions in the parliament, they will remain, and they are the institutional memory of the organization. And we are helping civil society, in particular, to reach out to the politicians, to create pressure, to have influence on policies that are being developed in their country.
Everybody, this is Alessandro Rota. He's advisor to...
already.
Yeah, you met... an advisor to Mr. Busek, who is the special coordinator on the stability pact for studies in Europe.
Serbia for a very while has been a black hole in the map of the Balkans, and now it's such a partner, especially for regional cooperation issues. And what is certain is that, I mean, administrative capacity-wise and on a number of respects, I mean, Serbia is really deserves a place in the map of Europe now, but I mean, still, politics is slightly troublesome, and of course you have the issue of Kosovo making things more complicated. But I mean, once things are solved, I think that things will be set, will be fast enough. And one of the things that the pact is there to do, that's really quite clearly the support of Serbia integrating into the region and into the European Union as such.
Nadam se da se vidimo. Prijatno, laku noć. Upala.
Bye bye.
Jedan šešir, rukavice, pantalon. Sve za konferenciju.
8, 9, 10. Nevjerovatno, svi smo.
Stvarno sam zadovoljan i iskreno kažem, jedva čekam da dobijemo te vizne olakšice da bi moji drugari, znači svi iz Srbije, mogli da vide kako se u Evropi živi i kako je tamo.
Dobili smo čvrsto obećanje i od gospodina Solane i od drugih visokih zvaničnika da će Srbija već na proleće sledeće godine, znači 2007. dobiti vizne olakšice za određenu grupu ljudi, što znači za studente, za poslovne ljude i za istraživače. Nadamo se da će već od 2008. vizne olakšice dobiti svi, odnosno da ćemo potpisati šengenski sporazum.
Zaključili smo da zaista imaju, makoliko se to možda drugačije činilo ljudima u Srbiji, dakle, Evropska unija zaista ima pozitivne stavove prema Srbiji i moja poruka mladim ljudima jeste da naravno moraju da uzmu aktivno učešće u odlučivanju sudbine naše zemlje.
Dobijamo mogućnosti za kreativnost, prvenstveno. Mogućnosti da živimo od svog rada i da se usavršavamo.
Ono što mi možemo da dobijemo nije samo sloboda kretanja robe, kapitala i sloboda nastanjivanja na teritoriji Evropske unije. Ono što mi možemo da dobijemo je jedno veliko tržište. Znači, naše tržište ne bi bilo oko 8 miliona stanovnika, nego naše tržište bi bilo preko 450 miliona ljudi.
Ono što me impresioniralo pre svega je bezbrižnost na licima ljudi koje sam sretao na ulicama, u tramvaju, uopšte, znači svakodnevni život ljudi koji su već u zemljama članicama Evropske unije. I to svima nama koji smo bili na ovome putu treba da bude ideja vodilja i nešto što ćemo prvo preneti našim vršnjacima i sagovornicima kada stignemo u Srbiju.
Ja imam poruku mojim drugarima i kolegama u Srbiji da se iskreno nadam da smo ih dobro predstavili ovde u Briselu i da smo sva ta pitanja koji oni većinom imaju da postave postavili i da su nam ljudi iz Brisela odgovorili pozitivno, da se imaju strpljenja, da ostanu u našoj zemlji i da uskoro ta odgovore koje smo dobili da će se sprovesti u dela.
Kako je istaknuto tokom svih susreta, Evropska unija zadovoljna je započetim ekonomskim reformama u Srbiji. Međutim, pre punopravnog članstva potrebno je da se reše pitanja koja se odnose na bezbednost, usklađivanje zakona i propisa. Ali za dalje pregovore sa Evropskom unijom presudna je podrška građana korpusu demokratskih partija, među kojima je značajna uloga Srpskog pokreta obnove.